This morning, the war on Iran not just having an impact on oil and gas prices, though they are both up, it is also threatening fertilizer supplies, critical for crops and food production. The Middle East is home to some of the world's largest fertilizer plants, and it's a major producer of the raw materials necessary to make fertilizer. Around 25 to 35% of the global trade in those raw materials passes through the Strait of Hormuz. But right now, pretty much nothing is passing through the Strait of Hormuz. With us now, Chris Abbott, CEO of the biotech company Pivot Bio. Chris, thanks so much for being with us. Will you just explain better than I just did about why the Persian Gulf, why the Strait is so important for fertilizer coming to the United States?
Yeah, good morning, John. Thank you for having me. So I think context is important as you laid it out there. So if we look at this over the last 15 years of my time spent in commodity and capital markets, I've not seen this level of disruption before. So if we look at the critical inputs for us in the ag economy, about 20% of LNG, about 30%, as you mentioned, of urea, that's our nitrogen fertilizer, and even more of sulfur. Sulfur is a key micronutrient for crops, passes through the strait. Furthermore, the U.S. imports this year almost 30% of its fertilizer from foreign countries. And so you can start to imagine, how does that ripple effect take shape if you start to clog up the system at a time in which we're approaching planting? Growers in the southern U.S. are already planting crops, and many of them, prior to last Friday, right, the day leading into this conflict, didn't have their nitrogen purchased. And so what happens is you see that backup, and it starts to show its ripple effect through the value chain. And as we say, it always hits the farmers first.